Well, thank you so very much for the welcome. This is a very significant event for our party, our triennial conference, the occasion when we get together as a group, a large group, representing the electorates right across the nation, to talk about policy issues of importance to us and plan for the future. Over the past year, we've had our ups and our downs. The political landscapes are ever shifting. Can I thank Barnaby Joyce as Agriculture Minister? He's delivered the much anticipated $4 billion agriculture white paper and overseen a new $2.5 billion deal for farmers affected by drought in so many parts of the country. And let's not forget, of course, that Barnaby's also saved us from the menace that was pistol and boo. Now, some may think that that was rough justice. But we've always said that we take quarantine seriously, and this was a demonstration that we do. And has there ever been a more engaged or connected Indigenous Affairs Minister than Nigel Scullion? He sits down with the people, he knows them, he talks with them, he understands them. The Commonwealth public sector and the private sector, through the Employment Parity Initiative, will increase Indigenous workforce to 3% by 2018 and 2020 respectively. That's 7,500 people in the public sector, an additional 20,000 Indigenous Australians in work in the private sector. As Assistant Minister for Employment, Luke Hartsuker has reformed employment services to help more job seekers into work. He's led the introduction of the government's new $6.8 billion Job Active Employment Service. Now, Assistant Health Minister Fiona Nash has found $50 million to boost incentives for doctors to work in rural towns of less than 15,000 people. That was a gutsy and important reform that will help many small rural towns attract doctors, one of the biggest challenges we have in rural health. Michael McCormick is the Parliamentary Secretary of the Minister for Finance, and he's been caring for the government property and steering a number of important public works projects through the Parliament, including upgrades to many of our defence bases. As Parliamentary Secretary for Defence, Darren Chester is at the point of so much of our national security, supporting our investment in new ships and aircraft, new bases and facilities to support that growing effort. So I acknowledge their contribution in helping to deliver on our agenda. Our MPs and our senators have been staunch advocates for local roads and highways, supporting their local communities and backing their concerns and their initiatives. Now, I think as long as I've been coming to Nationals conferences, and it goes back a lot more than 25 years, I think there's rarely been an agenda that hasn't had some mention of Inland Rail. Well, I'm pleased to report that this iconic project came closer yesterday when I received the delivery plan from the Implementation Group Chair, John Anderson. So an early commitment to Inland Rail will give certainty for business and will allow the private sector to invest in complementary projects, leveraging Inland Rail's enhanced logistic benefits. And I want to also mention the initiatives for regional students who will benefit under the new Commonwealth Government Scholarship Scheme, which will provide support to students, including scholarships to meet cost of living, fee exemptions and tutorial support. And we are introducing, the legislation is in the Parliament, for more generous means testing for the youth allowance to help regional and rural families better support the transition of their children from school to further study. Now, I could go on about these initiatives, but I believe they demonstrate that this has been a government of action. This has been a government that's delivered. We've got more to do, but we are determined to ensure that our agenda is achieved. And finally, I cannot leave this subject without a reference to the free trade agreements with Japan, South Korea and China. These have truly set our nation up for the long term. Now, there is a natural fit between our emphasis on developing Northern Australia and the priority we have placed on international trade liberalisation. So, ladies and gentlemen, as we lead into the next 12 months, we do so backed by a strong record of achievement over our first 2 years. We face the 12 months with a strong party organisation backed by the really best people on the ground. Thank you for being with us, and I ask for your support in the year ahead as we run up to another election and another opportunity to place a new agenda in front of the Australian people.